At least the cops are super cool. But I guess that's my cue. Hey, what's up guys? The weather right now is kind of like, yeah, which initially it was a bummer because it's my day off today and I was really excited to try and get out, do some exploring, take some photos, maybe meet up with some people, do some photo shoots, do some fun video stuff. Instead of sitting inside being bummed about not being outside, I decided to flip that little switch and just go for it. Maybe I'll get wet, maybe I won't, maybe it doesn't matter, because as long as I'm having a good time going out and exploring. I came outside just because I wanted to push it and do it even though the environment wasn't what I wanted, because it's rainy, it's wet, it's gloomy, it's just kind of like bleh. That brings up the good topic of your attitude. Your attitude is like the biggest factor in anything that you do. And it's like the biggest factor that you yourself control and can change. And you know, your surroundings, your circumstances, your environment, a lot of times you don't get to choose that. Like, you don't get to choose where you're born, who your parents are, the school that you go to necessarily growing up. You don't get to choose all of that, but you can choose your attitude, your perception, and your understanding of those circumstances and that environment that you're in. Taking that, grabbing a hold of that, and knowing that you can control that really just makes everything so much less significant. We're gonna walk away from this window because it's kind of awkward now. So today, is there a corner somewhere without wind? Today, I'm just trying to record stuff, more cinematic, like B-roll, I guess you could say. If you don't know what B-roll is, B-roll, it's that little extra footage that kind of fills in the gaps. It fills in the blanks and it kind of connects maybe one scenario to another without it being just a boring extended shot of walking or talking. So I think my outdoor explore has about come to an end.
If you want, you can tell them. We're going to be prepared.
Alright, one last thing for the night. Gonna go out, try and do a photo shoot that I just had come to mind. I was gonna call it a night, but instead, just out here taking some photos.
People are calling in.
Oh really?
Yeah. Just don't impede traffic and stay safe, okay?
Alright, yeah, I'll head home.
Oh yeah, I'm not running you off.
Yeah, no, I get that though. So.
No problem.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys. Thank you. At least the cops are super cool. But I guess that's my cue to be done videoing, photoing for the day. You know, always good to end it with a cop run-in. Alright, so as I was finishing up my workout after parkour class, I had this thought that I had revolved around sort of the saying slash idea that people talk about, you know, don't try and change the world. A lot you'll hear people say like, don't try and change the world. And the idea with that is you don't want to put unnecessary pressure on yourself to do something that in actuality is unlikely. It is very unlikely that you will come along and be one of these very influential people that changes millions of lives. But I thought about that for a second, and I realized that's a load of crap. Just the mere fact of you being here is world changing. The world would not be the way it is if you were not here. Your personal ecosystem, those people you know, those people you've interacted with, that has changed all of their lives, and therefore, since you changed their lives, that change has changed the lives of the people they interact with, and so on and so forth, and you get to this expansive point where your one life, in fact, has changed the world. It has changed the lives of everybody. If you, as an individual, have an impact worldwide based off of everybody that you know, wouldn't you want to try every day to make that the biggest positive impact that it can be? And so my challenge to you is to go about your next day, your next week, and realize that every interaction that you have with someone else is changing them. You can either change them for the better, or you can change them for the worse in that moment. If everybody switches their mindset to try and make every interaction with others as positive as possible, you get a heck of a lot of change. Because we're all in this together. We all have skin in the game called life. And we all need to take that responsibility upon ourselves to make the best change that we can. That was my gym thought for the night. I hope it encourages you in some way or another. So until the next one,